The phone vibrated once. I didn't answer. I already knew. When I did, her voice came bright, rehearsed. "I'm getting married tomorrow. Officially. I withdrew all the money from the accounts and sold the house. Goodbye." In the background, my mother-in-law laughed. Not nervous, not cruel, certain. I laughed back, soft, private. They didn't know that the house actually never left me. That moment, right there, was the hook in the trap they'd been walking toward for months. I remember when betrayal still felt impossible, when trust was muscle memory. We built a life slowly, like a long exposure photograph, late dinners, shared keys, joint plans. I taught her how to read balance sheets. She taught me how to pretend weekends were rest. Her mother called me son until the tone changed. It always does before the knife. The first fracture was small, a missing statement, a delay in a wire. Then the laughter behind closed doors. People think betrayal arrives screaming. It doesn't. It whispers until you start listening. I found out the truth on a Tuesday, not dramatically. No lipstick, no hotel receipts, just a title search update that shouldn't have existed yet. The house, our house, listed under a holding entity I recognized because I created it years ago for asset shielding. She had tried to use my own architecture against me. That was when the pain shut off and the planning began. I didn't confront her. That's amateur hour. I watched, I documented, screenshots, call logs, IP addresses. I let the bank think the withdrawals were clean while I flagged the timestamps. I let the realtor celebrate early while my attorney drafted quietly. I let her feel powerful. Power makes people sloppy. At work, the ceiling was already cracking. The CEO leaned back in his chair, eyes tired, voice sharp. "You're outdated. We're done here," he hissed. I nodded, understood. That was the moment the retirement trust activated its voting rights. They never ask who set those up. They never imagine the quiet ones keep levers. By Friday, my access badge stopped working. By Monday morning, the board convened an emergency meeting. The agenda was one line long. Who just fired the person who owns 76% of the shares? I wasn't in the room. I didn't need to be. Power works better when it doesn't announce itself. Back home, she packed fast. Victory does that to people. She left the ring on the counter like it was evidence she'd outgrown me. Her mother watched, arms crossed, smiling like this was a funeral she'd planned. They moved into a rental near the courthouse. The wedding was small, efficient. She texted me a photo of the license, a trophy shot. I replied with a single thumbs up. Execution is about timing. At 9 a.m., the escrow company froze the proceeds from the sale. The entity that bought the house, my entity, filed a corrective deed. The clause she never read kicked in. Right of reversion, triggered by unauthorized sale, triggered by her signature. At 9:07, the bank reversed the transfers. Joint accounts don't move when fraud is documented and intent is proven. At 9:12, her new husband's account was flagged for commingling stolen assets. At 9:18, his firm called him into a glass room with no handles. At 9:30, my phone rang again. This time, her voice cracked. "What did you do?" I didn't raise my voice. I protected what was mine. At noon, the board's decision hit the market. The CEO's resignation was framed as personal reasons. I bought his silence with a severance he couldn't refuse. By close, the stock stabilized. By dinner, my name was back where it belonged, quietly, legally, permanently. The confrontation came at night. She showed up at the house she thought she'd sold. The lock recognized me, not her. She pounded once, twice. The laughter was gone. "You ruined us," she said through the door. "No," I said. "You underestimated me." Her mother shouted threats, lawsuits, curses. I listened like you listen to rain, aware, unmoved. In court, the judge didn't look at me much. Judges don't look at winners, they look at paper. And the paper was perfect. Prenup clauses she mocked, trust documents she ignored, emails she deleted but servers remembered. The house reverted, the funds returned. custody of the narrative stayed with me. Her marriage didn't last a season. Turns out men who marry betrayal assume it won't bite them. It always does. Now I sit in the living room, the same light slanting across the floor. The house breathes again. So do I. I didn't win by shouting. I won by waiting, by building systems that assumed human weakness and planned accordingly. Revenge isn't rage, it's architecture. They thought they took everything. They thought I was finished. They thought the quiet man had nothing left. The truth is simpler. I never lost the house. I never lost the company. I never lost myself. I just let them believe I did, right up until the doors locked behind them.